week's new storm team.
News at 10, and I'll start us off with a little look at some of the rainfall totals that we saw this early afternoon and into the early this evening. We saw some areas that saw even over an inch over there towards Adams County in the Hettinger region. The great majority of us didn't really see much of anything, a sub-quarter inch or even nothing if you were over towards north of I-94, but there were a few of us that really made out big with nearly a half inch there at Mott and almost a half inch there at Tioga. So it was pretty good for a few of us. Across the board right now, temperatures have already fallen into the low to mid 60s across the great majority of the area, still hanging on to a 70 out there at Wolf Point. It warmed up pretty well out towards the Minot region and the far northeast counties, while it remained fairly overcast with those rainy conditions down towards the South Dakota border. And right now we're still watching a few of those showers tapering off over towards the Hettinger and Bowman area. So for the next couple hours, maybe till about 1 a.m. roughly, we'll still be dealing with some of that light to moderate rain. But now that we've lost the sun and solar heating, lots of the scattered showers that we were dealing with earlier and even weak rumbles of thunder have since tapered off, and it's shaping up to be a generally quiet night across much of North Dakota. Could even see a few patches of fog possibly, especially off to the north. And as I mentioned, Hettinger still dealing with some of that light to moderate rain. Bowman be expecting that maybe in the next hour or so. Maybe an additional 1/10 of an inch of rain is possible as we push through the remainder of this evening. But as a rule, we'll be expecting those rain showers to taper off as we push through the rest of the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. This is what the pattern is looking like in general. We are watching this weak mid-level low pressure system that's kind of hanging out in South Dakota. It's very slowly drifting off to the east, but very much like yesterday, we ended up seeing lots of those showers across, along, and south of I-94, and this system will very slowly drift off to the east tomorrow, but we're expecting a near repeat with continued shower chances there south of I-94 roughly, and even as far north as perhaps Williston. This is what the general flow is looking like, and the important thing is that this system here that has been bringing those rain showers anywhere from about southern North Dakota all the way down to Kansas roughly has undercut this ridge of high pressure that produced those warmer conditions up there towards the Minot and Botno region today. And the nice thing is, now that this ridge has been undercut, it's going to slowly start to fall apart and drift off to the east, and that's going to allow a bit of a pattern change as we push towards the next couple of weeks. So this system here is going to be indirectly responsible for a pretty large pattern change that we're going to have going on, and this ridge out here towards the west is slowly going to build up, and that's going to dislocate some of the cold air that's a lot further up in Canada, and that'll drift off to our south. In the meantime, though, we are still going to be dealing with that disturbance there in South Dakota. So as we push through tonight and into tomorrow morning, showers will taper off as we get into the early morning hours, but once again, once that solar heating comes back and stirs up the atmosphere, we should see some more pop-up showers, as I've been mentioning. Generally along and south of the I-94 corridor, south of Bismarck, could see a few showers and perhaps a rumble of thunder, but the lack of wind shear will prevent things from becoming very severe, and these will taper off pretty quickly as the sun goes down, very much like today. So pretty close to a repeat of today. Temperature-wise, it will also be near a repeat of today, with cooler temperatures to the south where the cloud cover will be hanging on, with some warmer conditions, low to mid 80s even, up along the Canadian border, and even near 90 out there towards northeastern Montana. But that is not going to be lasting long, because as we push towards the middle of the week, things are going to be changing. That ridge that I mentioned is cut off is slowly going to fall apart. This ridge out to the west is slowly going to strengthen and really grow up there into western Canada, and that's going to dislodge a lot of cold air up to the north and push quite a cool blast into our area by the time we get to Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see that reflected on Williston's next 5 days. Temperatures are going to go from about 86 there on Monday, near 90, all the way down to a high of 62, over a 20-degree drop with lows there into the lower 40s. Dickinson, very similar. We could see a few showers passing through as the cold front pushes into the area, then some mid to low 60s as we get to Wednesday. And for Minot's next 7 days, we'll be getting up there to the mid 80s tomorrow and then lower 60s by the time we get to Wednesday. Bismarck, very similar. Quite a cool off there for Wednesday, with highs back into the lower 60s and lows in the lower 40s. Tyler, quite the cool down.
Quite the cool down, but you know what? Labor Day is going to be warm for the barbecuing, so much appreciated, Michael.